This is Meliz Cooks, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Kıbrıs Pidesi, Cypriot style Pitta bread pockets, try saying that after a night out, that puff up beautifully in the oven. They are soft, light and fluffy, ready to be sliced open. I'm cooking some chicken kebab today and I can't wait to put them in there. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is just pop your salt and sugar into the liquid mixture and then stir that so it dissolves. And I've also put the yeast in here too. So I've put the instant dry yeast into the liquid. I'm just going to give it a little stir and I'm going to let that foam up for a few minutes so that I can see that it's reacting and then it's ready to add to the flour. Okay, so now that the yeast has reacted with your liquid, I'm going to pop the olive oil in that mixture too so that all your liquid ingredients are together. And I've made a well in the centre of my bowl. I'm going to gradually, very carefully, stir in the liquid mixture and bring it all together. Now, if you have a stand mixer, you can absolutely use that to make your dough and bring your dough together. I'm old school, I don't, so I'm going to do it all by hand. So about 8 to 10 minutes in your stand mixer, 10 to 12 if you're going to do it by hand. So bring it all together, and then once you've brought it all together, then you can get your hands involved. So as you need, really push out the dough away from you so you can get all the ingredients starting to react, stretching out that gluten, getting the yeast reacting too, which obviously will happen as the dough proves. Okay, so now that you've been kneading your dough for about 10 to 12 minutes, it should be lovely and smooth. So what you need to do, just roll it up into a smooth ball and just tuck kind of sides under. I've got myself a big bowl here that I've greased with some olive oil so that as the dough rises, it doesn't stick. Pop your dough in there, cover the bowl with cling film and let it prove. Okay, so I'm going to cover it with the cling film, leave somewhere warm, or room temperature, not anywhere cold, and just let that prove for an hour now. Okay, so the dough has now risen. It's been proving for just over an hour. I've just put my oven on to the highest setting it goes to. I think mine's about 260 degrees centigrade and it's a fan oven. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to portion off the dough into equal sized pieces and then they're going to prove again and keep this cling film. You can put that over the dough while it proves for the second time and then they're ready to roll out and to go into the oven. So just roll them into nice balls and then what you can do is just tuck that under so nice and smooth when you roll them out. Just pop them down. Probably can't see them, but I will show you. Again, just tuck them under, give them a little roll. Nice and smooth. So next one. These actually freeze really well as well, so you can pop them in the freezer and then when you're ready to use them, you can either just defrost them in your toaster using the defrost setting if you're going to have them, you know, kind of for lunch, but if you want them with your barbecue, then you'll need to let them defrost kind of naturally, take them out a couple of hours before, and then you can just pop them on the mangal and they will just reheat beautifully, perfect to just cut open and fill with all those lovely barbecue delights that you want to stuff them with. We're actually going to have some tonight with some chicken thigh kebabs that I'm making, keeping it simple, but I'm excited to fill these with the chicken kebabs tonight. And Cypriot pide are the lovely kind of long oval shaped ones. Like I said, you can make them smaller. If you want to make 6 pide out of the recipe, then that's absolutely fine. They'll be fluffier, but make them long, make them big so that you can cut them in half and fill half with your, you know, your kebab, whatever you're going to fill it with. You know, don't make them too kind of small and not long enough, otherwise you will get a very, very, very puffy pide, which is lovely, but if you want to slice it open and fill them up, they need to be nice and long and I'll tell you the exact measurements when I do them. Okay, so these are now rolled into balls. I'm going to use the cling film that I used to cover the bowl with. I'm going to cover them again, and I'm going to let them prove now again for another 20 to 30 minutes. You'll see them puff up again, and then they're ready to roll out and get into the oven. So make sure your oven is preheating now to the highest setting it can go, the highest heat it can go. I'm excited for these. Okay, so the Pitta balls have now risen, so those dough balls are nice and puffy again, and they are ready to roll out. So you need to roll them out on a clean surface, have it lightly floured. I'm going to get the kids involved now as well because they love making Pitta with me. And then they are ready to go into that hot oven, and you can watch them puff up and rise. That is the kids' favourite bit actually, so I'm excited to show you that now. So you need to very lightly dust your surface. My eldest is now showing how to roll it out.
Yeah. So basically, you have to try and get bubbles because it means really good because it puffs up, and it has to be in a really nice oval shape.
You have to make sure they're all exactly the same. That's it. Nice and long.
So we flatten it up like an oval, and then can you see some bubbles? When we put it in the oven, it comes up, rises up, and then it's all ready to eat.
So when you start to preheat your oven, make sure you put an upturned baking tray at the bottom, because that is what you're going to cook your Pidesi on. So the Pidesi lay straight onto that overturned baking tray, and they start to puff up after a couple of minutes. So that needs to be baking hot as the oven for the process to work, for them to rise. So I'm just going to roll out the last couple of Pidesi. The children have done the other ones. I'm going to get these going. You can either just flour the balls of dough, or you can lightly flour your surface, it's up to you. I'm making these ones slightly longer and thinner. They're roughly kind of 20 centimetres long, I would say, and about 10 centimetres at the kind of the biggest, the centre in terms of its width, and that oval. So I'm popping them on this lovely traditional tray that was my mother's, from grandmother and great grandmother. Very traditional Cypriot basket woven tray that when pastries were prepared and cooked, they were placed on the tray before they were put in the outdoor wood oven or clay oven. So, okay. And you don't want too much flour on the Pidesi, otherwise they can burn in the oven, so don't over flour them, and if you think they've got too much on them, just give them a little dusting. The last one is almost ready. Make it a little bit wider, and then we are good to go. I mean, they are never completely uniform, and that is the beauty really. So I'm going to pop these in the oven now. Here they are, these absolutely gorgeous Kıbrıs Pidesi. When your Pitta come out of the oven, make sure you pop them straight under a clean tea towel and keep them wrapped up so they stay lovely and soft and warm. Beautiful, soft, fluffy, ready for you to rip open. Open up and fill up with whatever you like. Gorgeous.